My name is Makita Easter, and I'm an arts reporter at the Los Angeles Times. I grew up dancing. Since moving to LA, I've become fascinated with commercial dance. These are the dancers that you see on music videos and commercials and dancing behind pop stars. Social media has allowed these dancers to break out of the shadows and become celebrities in their own right. As I began paying attention to these dance influencers, I noticed that anyone could gain a following on social media. It didn't matter if they fit the conventional standards of what a dancer is supposed to look like. It didn't matter what styles of dance they did. In this story, we focus in on 4 dancers who may have been considered non-traditional in the past. But with social media, they're building a large following and finding success in the industry. The first dancer we're going to see is Amanda LaCount.
I started when I was 2 years old, so since pretty much I've been alive, I've been dancing, and it's what I love to do and what I'm really passionate about. And there's been some ups and downs along the way, obviously.
She's 18 years old, and she's worked with pop stars like Lizzo, Meghan Trainor, Katy Perry, and Rihanna.
As you can tell, I'm not, the stereotypical looking dancer, and people kind of just think of a really skinny, fit person when they think of professional dancers. But as far as ups and downs, I started when I was 2, and I trained every day for hours and hours on end. And then I went to this certain studio, and this was my first experience I had with someone telling me to my face that they had a problem with what I look like, because I went to that studio for a year and he kicked me off because my body type didn't fit his vision.
Growing up in Colorado, Amanda said she didn't have anyone to look up to. She never saw any dancers with her body type on stage.
When I was growing up dancing and I would, go to So You Think You Can Dance live tour and all that, you would never see someone like me on the stage. So I kind of had to, reality hit me in the face pretty much. And I was like, oh gosh, it's gonna be really hard for me to make it in this industry at all, because people have such a look matched with dancing, and when they think of dancing, they think of a certain look, and I don't fit in that box. So I feel like it's gonna be really hard for me to be successful at all. And I started taking classes in LA and kind of meeting people and doing all that, and then I realized that I wanted to move there, and then I moved. And when I moved out here, I had 450 followers. And then I had a viral video of me dancing at the Santa Monica Pier with these 3 guys, and we were battling, but it was a friendly, just dancing together. And I posted it for fun, and then it just kind of blew up because the Shade Room posted it, which is a really popular Instagram, and then from there it was share, 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 share. And so that video has 70 million views, and that kind of put me up. Surprisingly, it only put me up 10,000, which is a good amount, but obviously I'm not gonna complain. I was at 450 a year ago. And then from there, I started using my hashtag breaking the stereotype, and I didn't expect that really to do anything. I was doing it more for me, and I wanted to come up with something that really kind of embodied me as a dancer and what I want to change about the dance world and what I want to achieve. And I just thought that my main goal is just to make people realize that, stereotypes are made to be broken, and that the more you work for something, the more rewarding it is.
Speaking of breaking the stereotype, Chelsie Hill is a dancer who uses a wheelchair.
I love dance from a very young age, and so I knew that's what I wanted to do my whole life.
She was a senior in high school, just months away from graduation, when she was in a car accident that paralyzed her.
When I was sitting in the hospital bed, my dad walked in with a laptop, and he showed me a wheelchair dancer on YouTube. I, watched the video, and my wheels started turning, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I would do that differently, and that's cool. And that's where the idea of dancing, no matter what, whether I got back up or not, that was when the fire of dance really ignited with me. I moved to Los Angeles in 2014 with this dream of being a professional dancer in a wheelchair, and just got way more inspired by everyone around me. That's, I feel when social media really started taking off, and I started following all these other dancers. But When I started going to new choreographers that I followed, I also got turned down a lot and felt like people didn't see me for the same dancer as the person standing next to me. But I started to turn that hurt that I felt where I wasn't respected like every other dancer into passion and fuel to go back and make sure that that choreographer knew who I was.
But she quickly got to work building up a community of other young women dancers who used wheelchairs. She created the Rolettes Dance Team and started a convention bringing together girls and women in wheelchairs from around the world.
I started the Rolettes Dance Team purely because I just wanted friends. Ayo. Ayo. I want you guys to know that I know this is like, oh, we're all sisters now, but like, please know that anything you guys need, like, I'm here, I'm your biggest fan. I wanted to know of other girls with spinal cord injuries that were the same age and that were into the same things and that I could vibe with, you know, being newly injured and not knowing what this body and this life was going to entail. It was super scary. And so I reached out to girls on social media. It's not that bad! And we started creating these like videos on my iPhone and posting them and just like having fun with it. And it purely started because we just wanted to see what we can do. And there were these dance challenges and we wanted to create them and no one else in a wheelchair was doing it. So we're like, why not? Why can't a person in a wheelchair dance and make cool videos? I don't see it, so let's create it. And I feel like being able to show the world what you can do through social media is so amazing because we're lucky that we have that type of voice now. But it's become this movement and this company and this team to empower women with disabilities to live boundlessly and shift perspective through dance. And that's the core of what we do and who we are. And it's so cool to see that there's these other girls that have that same passion and that same drive as I do. And we've kind of like teamed up, you know? It's just been really, really cool.
Chaya Kumar and Shivani Bhagwan are close friends.
We're about to do a live stream. I'm so excited.
After noticing a lack of South Asian commercial dance in LA, they created BFunk.
BFunk is a class that Shivani and I founded based out of North Hollywood. There are two classes that we teach. One is Bhangra Funk, one is Bali Funk.
BFunk is a class fusing South Asian dance styles Bollywood and Bhangra with jazz funk and hip-hop dance.
Bollywood is a cinema filmy dance from India, so you'll see it a lot in the Indian films. So you'll see, you know, a story taking place and then they'll break out into dance. And then Bhangra is a folk dance that originates from the northern region of Punjab in India.
For us, when we're fusing our dance, we're also fusing our identities. We grew up in the States, but we are South Asian, and our parents are South Asian, and they've instilled so much culture in us while we were growing up. So for us, when we're fusing styles of dance, we're also trying to showcase everything about our identities. So we try to do some elements of jazz, funk, and hip hop while still keeping the energy and the vivaciousness that you see of Bhangra styles of dance.
Since teaching their first class about 3 years ago, BFunk has become a brand with more than 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
With our first class, the idea of that came about because we were kind of sitting down talking about our goals, and then Chaya was asking me, like, what are some things that, you know, that we would want to accomplish? And I was telling her that, you know, I moved out to LA to pursue dance full time, and I was finally reaching that point. I was in companies, I was auditioning, but I still felt like a piece of the puzzle was missing. And I was telling her that I felt like there was like a gap in that. Why is it that there's so many amazing hip hop classes and there's amazing classes out here for training, but there wasn't anything in that class format where you come in, you warm up, you learn a routine, and then you film at the end. There wasn't that type of format for any styles of like South Asian dance. And Chai was like, well, then why don't you do it? Why don't we start it? And so I was like, okay, our first class is next week, let's go.
Even when you're here, like how much lower can you get just in that intro? Because naturally, we're gonna come out of it.
But it was a gradual succession. I think that, you know, it started off like very modest, and as things picked up and as we went on, we were very lucky to, you know, drive more people to class. And I think it was just because we had been very, lucky to kind of tap into this new idea. And now to say that we can look back and say there's 1.2 million subscribers, it's something that we would have never guessed.
Never.
Yeah, never.
I think YouTube and Instagram has provided us an outlet to reach out to so many people through marketing in a way we've never been able to do before. So in that sense, we are able to travel and teach a lot. We get to meet face to face and actually dance with people that have shown us so much interest and love on our videos.
It's so great, having a YouTube, like the resources that YouTube offers for you to be able to kind of create your own opportunities and to have your own channel that you get to have full creative control over, and that you get to reach people directly in their homes and to kind of bring your art and your message to them. It's just like, it's something that I could never have dreamt of before.
I think it just reminds us that there are so many other people in this world that feel the exact same way that we do, and that they feel the need to express through dance. And it's just such a constant reminder that we're all on this journey together to just explore and express through art.
Sisters Chloe and Maud Arnold are the founders of the all-women tap group Syncopated Ladies.
We have on our social media, across our platforms, we reach about 350,000 people. Our YouTube channel has 35,000 subscribers, and our work has been viewed by over 50 million people online.
After working on set with Beyonce in the early 2000s, Chloe was inspired to create highly stylized tap dance videos for YouTube.
We love tap dance. We were brought into tap dance because we were exposed to some of the greats, including Gregory Hines at a very young age, and then were able to take his classes. And it was honestly in these moments where we saw this beautiful artistry and realized that we were connected to this passion for expressing ourselves through dance and music.
When we started in 2003, we were basically doing one show a year at like tap dance festivals. And then what really propelled the idea of taking this further was after Chloe had worked on set with Beyonce. And she was like, we should rock out like she does, and why can't we have that powerful voice as women in tap?
The massive superstars of tap dance were predominantly men. And we were very inspired by them, but we weren't really seeing our voices and our representation in the art form. And it wasn't until we met our mentor, Debbie Allen, who really started to remind us that we are valuable and that our voices matter. And so she gave us space at the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, and that's where Syncopated Ladies was born, right out of a small jam session where young women got together to express themselves and to honestly claim their power.
So we made our first video, and at the time there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook video, there was just YouTube. And we released this video, and it had like 50,000 views, which at the time was viral. Before, people weren't really checking for videos, especially not dance videos like that, on the internet. So that's how it started, and then from there it kind of was like a snowball effect of creating things.
The videos blew up, and a couple caught the attention of Beyonce herself, which has launched the Syncopated Ladies to a new stratosphere.
So we wanted to put the same level of production and energy behind tap dance in the way that people were doing it for pop stars. And so we wanted to pay homage and say thank you to Beyonce, because she really was the tipping point. And so we did something called Tap Tribute to Beyonce, and we did End of Time. The YouTube video was on Facebook, and Beyonce, through her Facebook page, shared that video and said they killed it. And immediately, and I remember because I was at a dance studio in New York and I like screamed and I said to everybody, oh my God, Beyonce shared our video. And of course, because it's a dance studio, everybody started going crazy. They were like hype, and it was the best place to have been because everybody knew the gravity of that. And her words and just that quote, they killed it, really propelled us into a new stratosphere. And so we always call it the Beyonce Effect. Her kindness and her love and her belief in sisterhood to lift up other women that are doing their love and their passion was so touching and so fortifying. And so really, the way we create our content is an expression of our soul, and we are very thankful that the world has received it and that they feel it. But I truly believe the reason it connects to people is because it's authentic and it's real and it's from our hearts.
The internet has been a democratizing force in dance. With the power of social media, dancers from around the world, no matter who they are, what they look like, or the genre of dance they do, are reshaping what success can look like in the dance industry.